Let's talk about PenFed personal loans. Okay, this is the kind of loan that can approve you up to $50,000. And in today's conversation, I want to share with you personal loan pre-qualification hacks you must use to get the maximum loan amount. Don't you go anywhere. You're going to love today's conversation. I guarantee it. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sorty Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous. If you were to ask me, if you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, we want to talk about the $50,000 personal loan from PenFed, okay? And I want to specify, I want to really focus on the pre-qualification hacks you got to use to get the maximum loan amount. Let me give you an overview here. What are we talking about? What kind of loan are we talking about? Well, PenFed loan has a pre-qualification link on the company's website. This is just fantastic. In other words, whether you are a member or not, you can go, you can have a soft pull to see what kind of loans you might qualify for. Now, once you qualify for the loan, if you pre-qualify for the loan and you like the rate, you like the amount they show you, you're going to need to become a member to apply for the loan. It's very important, okay? Now, a lot of folks are out there saying, PenFed is a bad credit union. Hey. Don't talk about what you don't know, all right? PenFed is a great institution. You just have to know how they play the game. They play their game differently from Navy Fed. That's all it is. And it's kind of funny. People just walk around and say, PenFed is a bad institution. I applied, they deny my ass. Well, listen, they deny your ass because you did not prepare properly. You did not apply properly. You have to learn the rules of the game. PenFed is playing a different game than Navy Fed. Okay, and you have to understand what kind of game they're playing, and that's what I'm teaching you here. So you want to pre-qualify first. You want to go to the website first, and you need to understand that once you actually, if you love the amount they show you, you love the term, the loan, the maturity of the loan they showed you. If you just love the terms and conditions, remember you must be a member to receive a personal loan. Okay, so you got to really apply to become a member. But when we talk about pre-qualification, the cool thing is you're not hurting your credit score, because that's the thing. You're not hurting your credit score. So if you're not hurting your credit score, you're preserving your FICO score. This is kind of cool, okay? So I'm just giving you an overview of the loan first before we get into the nitty-gritty, okay? So remember that if you pre-qualify, we are actually excluding the hard inquiry. We are preserving your credit score. We're just shopping around. You have no obligation, okay? It's pretty flexible. If you don't like the loan terms they give you, don't apply, okay? There's no obligation whatsoever. Now, let me give you the hacks you need to actually implement today. I want you to start implementing those hacks today to get the loan amounts you need to actually pre-qualify. The first thing is you have to think about PenFed banking, okay? You want to pre-apply when you have a strong multi-product relationship with PenFed and you have reasonable cash balances, because I'm talking to you about maintaining reasonable cash balances. Don't try to maintain a small ass balance and ask PenFed to pre-qualify you. What's up with that? You are holding $5 in your checking accounts and you have held $5 in your account for the last 10 years and you want them to grant you a loan? Come on, man. Let's be honest here. Let's have a conversation about we want to be serious, because this is super serious business, okay? You want to maintain reasonable balances. I'm not asking you to maintain 5 digits or 6 digits, but I'm asking you to maintain good, decent balances, okay? So when we talk about cultivating a relationship with PenFed, we are talking about making sure you have checking accounts, you have savings accounts. I've said this on other shows. It's important to have at least 2 accounts with PenFed if you are really serious about having a relationship with them, okay? That's what it is. They just want to see that you have skin in the game. Skin in the game. That's the name of the game. skin in the game. In other words, you have something to lose. It has to be a win-win situation. That's all it is. Okay. You want to park some of your cash with them, so they can actually in return also park some of their cash with you through loans. Okay, through credit card balances, through higher limits on the credit cards. Okay, that's why a lot of folks they make the mistake of not cultivating a good rapport with PenFed, and then they turn around and say, they just deny my ass. Hey, listen, yeah, they deny your ass. That's good for you. Next time, learn. Okay, build a relationship first. Okay, we're talking about having MMAs, for example, money market accounts. This is good. You're parking your cash, you're saving, you're having a nest egg. That's what it is. Think about CDs. Think about certificate of deposits. Let's have a conversation about that. Okay. Talk about IRAs, cuz, aunts, nephew, uncle. I'm talking to you. This is a family conversation. I want you to really understand what I'm saying here. It's important. Think about IRAs, individual retirement accounts. Those are important elements. Those are important things to consider for your future, for your family's future, for your credit. Those are important things. And consider also being part of the PenFed Honors Advantage program. This will help you a lot, okay? Money, 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 money. Cuz, talk to me. Where's your money at? What is your money at? Talk to me about that. Grandpa, grandma, where is your money at? Talk to me. You better have some of your cash at PenFed if you are serious about pre-qualifying and then later on qualifying for their loans. The second thing I want to talk to you about is debt repayment. See, the thing is that you want to pre-apply when you've just paid debt, because a good debt to income ratio is great for your pre-qualification chances. What I'm trying, listen, niece, daughter, son, what I'm trying to tell you here is that let's say you just finished paying up, you just paid off a loan that you had for 5 years, right? And you are good to go. Well, the good thing is when you pay off your loan, you have two important things that happen to you. First of all, you are free to use the cash that you used to pay the loan before. That cash is available now. So we're talking about disposable income. You can dispose of it. Okay, you can put it in a savings account. You can actually, you can save it for a down payment on a house and whatnot. That's the first thing. The second thing is that, listen, your FICO score goes up, right? We're talking about a big bump in your FICO score. Those are cool things to have, cause, yeah, I want you to pat yourself on the back. Yeah, you just paid off debt. That's kind of cool. This is when you want to pre-apply for this personal loan. You know why? Because your financial profile right now is rosier, is more positive than before. So your chances of pre-qualifying for a PenFed personal loan are good. Okay, I mean, not just pre-qualifying, but getting very good loan terms. It's important. Okay, and you have to understand there are factors that influence your credit score, right? We all know about it. I don't need to go through it again, but you understand that your payment history accounts for 35% of your FICO score. Oh yeah, that's why I'm just telling you, you need to actually take your payment history. You need to take your payments very seriously. Don't you walk around and playing games with creditors, playing games with borrowers. They call you and you're playing games. You're just ghosting them. What's up with that? You're spending more time on TikTok and Instagram than picking up the phone calls of your creditors. Stop that. If you are in that category right now, I'm talking to you. I don't care if you don't like what I'm telling you. I want you to stop that. Okay? Stop this today and start taking your payment history. Very importantly, the amounts owed accounts for 30%, the length of credit history 15%, new credit 10%, and your credit mix 10%. Okay, remember that there are long-lasting effects of paying off debts. Right? It's important to understand that you have a clear situation about your life. Okay, you actually can plan things better. I'm talking about making sure that you are in a situation where you can control revolving credits better, installment loans credit better. Okay. Very important. Let me talk to you, boss, about your CUR. Do you know what that is? I'm talking to you about your credit utilization ratio. You want to pre-apply for a PenFed personal loan when you have paid down a substantial part of your credit card balances. Oh yeah, I'm just giving it to you straight. Don't pre-apply for this loan if you have high balances. If you have high balances in your credit card, it's not worth it. You know why? They will give you crappy loan terms. Even if you have a pre-qualification terms that are good, once you move on to the actual application stage, they'll give you like very crappy terms. Okay, don't you make a mistake about that. PenFed is more conservative than NavyFed, but again, I'm telling you how they play their game. You need to understand the rules of their game so you can actually pre-qualify and qualify for their loans. Okay, nobody cares about NavyFed or Andrews or Surface or USAA. At least in this show. In this show, we only care about PenFed. What kind of game are they playing? In their game, one of the most important elements in their game is something called CUR. Okay, so when we talk about CUR, I'm just talking to you about your credit utilization ratio. In other words, the amount of credit you use as compared to your credit card limits. This is a big factor. Oh yeah. This is a big factor influencing your credit score. So let's say you have your overall limits on all credit cards that you have. Let's say that limit is $10,000, right? And you are using right now 50% of that limit. In other words, you are carrying $5,000 as open balances. This is bad. Boss, this is bad. You want to keep your CUR around 30%. Some experts say 35%, but to be safe, 30%, 35%. Okay, we're talking about 1/3 of your limit. If you can maintain that, that's kind of cool. Because if you have a high balance, this affects your credit score in a detrimental way. Okay, a high FICO score, a high CUR means what? It means to the lender that you could be potentially desperate. In other words, you're living beyond your means, right? You're just working around the neighborhood and buying everything that you actually spot. Nobody wants that. You don't want to paint an image of a desperate husband or desperate wife or desperate household, head of household. No. We want to be in a situation where we are showing responsibility, right? We show responsibility. We show integrity. We show acumen. We show knowledge in managing our cash flows and managing our income. That's what I want for you. I want your ass to laugh all the way to the bank. I want your ass to laugh all the way to the credit union, all the way to PenFed. That's what I'm talking about. Let's talk about pay raise, boss. I'm just breaking down for you in a manner you can understand. Okay, I'm not trying to. Nobody. You see, the funny thing is, nobody should razzle dazzle you about credit. Use the terms you cannot understand, trying to confuse you, trying to distract you. No. Never accept that. And this is why in this show, I'm actually breaking down things for you, right? When we talk about pay raise, you want to pre-apply after you have gotten a pay raise or when your overall income is growing. Oh yeah, those are good times, boss, right? Good times, grandpa. Good times, grandma, right? Hey, I'm talking to you, cuz. Are you having a pay raise right now? Has your salary been raised? Are you having a pay raise moment right now? Is your income up? Talk to me about that. Those are good times. But don't forget, you want to update your records at PenFed. So everybody knows, the whole world knows, including PenFed's algorithms, they know that you are banking right now. You know why? Because this will help you get better terms when you actually pre-apply. Yeah. Well, yeah. It makes a big difference whether you're making 20 grand a year or 40 grand a year or 60 grand a year. Because I'm just breaking down for you, okay? Don't forget to update your PenFed records. It's important, okay? Now, it's a good time also when your income is going up to catch up on bills, right? Because the whole thing is that you want to pay attention to your liabilities and your assets simultaneously. Assets, liabilities, assets, liabilities, assets, liabilities. That's what's going to increase your net worth in the long run. Oh yeah, that's another term. I'm just dropping a gem today. Net worth. Because the bottom line here is that to get a better loan, to better loan with PenFed and a larger loan, that is, you want to work on your net worth, okay? Catch up on bills, pay off debts, okay? Talk to me about those things. What are you doing right now? Cause hey, look at me. Don't you just listen to this show and not do anything. What are you doing exactly? I'm talking to you, not your neighbor, not your aunts, not your uncle. You. What are you doing right now to actually catch up on bills, pay off debts? Are you saving for retirement? We're talking about the two parts of the equation, of the balance sheet equation: assets, liabilities. Those are the two elements of your balance sheet. Remember that you got to save for retirement, okay? Because today you're 20 or 25. 20 years from now, you're not going to be 20 or 25. You're going to have more expenses, more responsibilities. So save for retirement, okay? And remember, a raise is just the beginning. Once you get a raise, you have to do a lot of things. You might be getting a loan from PenFed to actually do a lot of stuff, but you also need to put some cash on the side. Very important. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. I'm still talking to you about the $50,000 PenFed personal loan, the personal loan pre-qualification hacks you must know to be approved, okay? You want to pre-apply. Now, let's talk about low PenFed debts. You want to pre-apply when your PenFed credit card and loan account is low. I'm talking about 2 to 3. See, the thing is that PenFed is looking at your ass and thinking about risk. So the more credit products you have, the worse, the least likely you might be approved, or you might have a good pre-qualification, let's say, terms, okay? So the whole thing here is you want to keep your debts low, your PenFed debts. Here, I'm not talking about your debt in general. I'm talking about your PenFed debt, your PenFed credit card, your PenFed loan. So if you have a low count, let's say 2 or 3 products, this is kind of cool. PenFed loves that, because the higher your debts, your PenFed debts, the least likely they will give you some cash. Yeah, because they just look at you as a risky profile. Yeah, and this has nothing to do with how you look, what your name is, where you live, what your job is. No, it's just about the game. That's how they play the game. That's all they do. Okay, so when we talk about we talk about PenFed debts, we are speaking about credit cards. Because how many credit cards you have right now with PenFed? Do you have 2 or 3? If you have 2 or 3, then you probably want to have low balances on those credit cards before applying for a loan. Okay, what about personal loans? Do you currently have another loan open? You better really pay that down first. Okay, do you have a personal line of credit? Because PenFed actually they have a $25,000 personal line of credit. Do you have that right now? Talk to me about your mortgages with PenFed. Do you have open mortgages with PenFed? If you do, you really want to pay that down first, okay? It's all about reducing your exposure. It's all about reducing PenFed's exposure to you, okay? Remember, if something happens, if you can't repay your loans or credit cards, PenFed's exposure to you goes up, okay? And do you have some VA loans right now? If you have VA loans, those will also count as your overall PenFed debts, okay? What about student loans? So I'm just telling you all the credit products that PenFed offers that you need to really think about when you want to maintain a low PenFed debt. Credit card. I said this before. How many credit cards from PenFed do you currently carry? How many PenFed credit cards do you carry in your wallet? Let's talk about that. And you want to make sure you only have maximum 2. That will help you out. So, I want to give you a few pro tips before we close to this conversation. One thing I want to say is that if you want to pre-qualify properly for a personal loan, whether from PenFed or another lender, there are a few things you need to understand. Okay, you have to understand, first of all, what it means to pre-qualify for a personal loan. So when you go through the process of pre-qualifying for a personal loan, PenFed or another lender essentially pre-screens you before you complete an application. Okay, so the process informs you if you're likely to be approved and what the terms will probably be if your full application is successful. That's what it is. Okay, and so when you start the personal loan pre-qualification process, you provide some basic information to PenFed or another lender, and such as how much you want to borrow, how much income you earn, and how much debts you carry. Though the requirements will vary from lender to lender, okay? This is important. And so the lender then checks your credit to get an overview of your credit worthiness, looking at factors like your repayment history and outstanding debts to evaluate the risk of lending to you. So they run this credit check as a soft inquiry, which doesn't impact your credit negatively. Okay, so when you get pre-qualified successfully, the PenFed or the lender will provide you with the loan details you are eligible for, and if you like the loan amount, term, and interest rates that you are presented with, you can accept and proceed to complete the full application. Okay, so that's what it is. Now, but know that getting pre-qualified doesn't guarantee that you will be approved. That's what it is. You still have to apply and provide additional documentation and information that could change the lender's decision or offer. So upon application, PenFed or another lender for that matter will also most likely run a full credit check, which does put a hard inquiry on your credit reports. It's important. Okay, so I want to really be clear on that. So what is a pre-qualification versus pre-approval? Well, pre-approval is a little more, I would say, it's a little more serious. Okay, because you can have a pre-approval for a house, for example, or a car. In other words, the lender has done, let's say, they have done some kind of scrutiny that is a little more advanced than a pre-qualification. Okay, they look at different things, and so pre-approval is higher in the hierarchy here. And so here are next steps after getting pre-qualified. If you get pre-qualified for a loan, it's about time that you actually review the offer, okay, from PenFed or another lender for that matter. And once you review the terms, and pay attention to the loan terms such as the maturity, the APR, and the loan amounts. Okay, and if you like what you see, just go ahead and apply. Thank you so much for your attention. I was talking to you today about the 50,000 PenFed personal loan pre-qualification hacks you must know to actually get approved faster. And I give you an overview, and the steps here are PenFed banking, debt repayment, your CUR, your credit utilization ratio, the pay raise, and just kind of have a low PenFed debt. And I give you a few pro tips so that you can really understand how to ace the whole process. Thank you so much for your attention. God bless you. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.